we're getting ready to turn on the PlayStation 5 for the first time. As you can see, I don't have any room in my existing communications rack for the PlayStation 5. I've got the PlayStation 4 Pro and my 4K Blu-ray player kind of stacked on top of each other. I do need a bigger rack. I'll be working on that. But let's get the PlayStation 5 powered up. Can't turn it on with the controller for the first time, so we're going to press the power button. And this is the first boot up. As you can see, we've already got that part going. I like how long this cable is that they provided with the PlayStation 5 for the controller. So we've got that connected. Going ahead and pressing the PlayStation button on the controller, and it detects it. So I am in the US, and now we're adjusting the display area. And we got the HDR settings. Wrong way. That's pretty good. And same thing. And now the HDR for the dark setting. I do not have any game discs right now, so we're going to skip this step. We have some power options for power consumption. And a custom setting. I think we're going to go with the optimized experience. And then, of course, we have the lovely terms and conditions that everyone reads and agrees to. And we have the obligatory update system software. And yes, we want to update. Now, mine should be able to automatically detect. I have the Ethernet cable plugged in. I'm not going off of Wi-Fi, so we'll go ahead and let it do its thing. And we will come back later. And just so you can see, I think this shows the speed of the solid-state drive that is inside of the PlayStation 5. It is installing significantly faster than previous PlayStation 4 updates would install. All right, we've just come out of the update. You can see my son here. He's wanting to help out a little bit. He's going to press the PlayStation button on the controller for us. Don't make fun of my poor cable management back there. And it says we have a new version of wireless controller software, and it will require a restart. So we're going to go ahead and press X on the controller, and now it's going to do the install. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you, son. And now we're at the point where it wants me to sign in with my PlayStation account. You can see here it does have the QR code to sign in with the PlayStation app automatically. I'm going to give that a try. So I'm going to stop recording real quick and we'll see you back whenever that's done and I'm all signed in. And we're back. We're all signed in. So now we're going to press the X button and continue to move forward. And now we're going to want to do a privacy profile. So for me, I tend to go friend focused. This gives a bit of a description of what this privacy setting will be like on this console. So we'll leave it here and we'll click apply. And this is the data collection. You can choose what you want, but I don't have much to hide, so I'm going to confirm and continue. And now it wants me to do some additional securing of my account. So we're going to go ahead and click on OK. And you can either do the text messages or you can use the Authenticator app. And I do have an Authenticator app, so I'm going to go with the Authenticator app. We have finished the two-factor authentication setup, and now it is at the setting for family on PlayStation. I am not going to do family on PlayStation on this. This is my PlayStation. I have my own account. My son has his own PlayStation account that I manage separately. So we're going to jump through this pretty quickly here. We're going to click on OK and continue. And, you know, I don't really use this as a streaming device. I have the Apple TV 4K and I absolutely love it. We'll probably visit this a little bit later just to see what the interface is like, but for now, for speed of getting through this, we're going to go to do this later and continue. Transfer data from my PlayStation 4. We're going to continue. And so make sure the PlayStation 4 is turned on and connected to the same network. So I could turn it on from the PlayStation controller, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to walk over here and I'm going to press the power button. Turning on the PlayStation 4 Pro. It does look pretty nice. Give the PlayStation 4 a few more seconds to finish booting up. And now we'll go ahead and continue. So now what it wants me to do is press the power button on my PlayStation 4 for 1 second until it beeps. So we'll do this again. It beeped. Seems as though that was a bit of a confirmation. Prior to today, I did upload all of my game saves to PlayStation Plus, and I did export a number of my PlayStation 4 games that I still play to an external solid state drive. So we'll see what that works like, but I'm kind of curious what it wants to do here. So select what to transfer. Transfer all of my games, apps, users, and save data to the PlayStation 5, or we can do custom. Let's do custom. So we're going to unselect the top one and just go to next. And we're going to continue. And we'll just go ahead and do the save data. Go ahead and click next. And it looks like it only has the games that are still stored locally on the PlayStation 5, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and skip this part and just go to next. Like I said, the games that I'm still playing are they're on an external hard drive, so they're not local onto the PlayStation. So we'll go ahead and start the transfer. Now, if you do not have an external drive and you have all of your games installed on your PlayStation 4, this is the process that you would want to take to transfer your locally installed PlayStation 4 games to the PlayStation 5. So this process would take quite longer if you were transferring games. So we have finished the transfer of the data from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5, and the console is now restarting. You can see it is booting up. looks like we're in and all set up. Well, that is going to wrap up our setup video for the PlayStation 5. I'll check back in later. I plan on doing some home theater inspecting on the PlayStation 5, if you will. I want to see, I've kind of been curious how it's going to handle Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos for 4K Blu ray movies. Sony hasn't been that clear on it. I have read some of my Facebook groups that I follow and some other users that have a PlayStation 5 already have made some recommendation setups for how to enable Dolby Atmos to make sure it works correctly. So I'll check back in a little bit later, but for now we're going to play around a little bit and see how the system works. Good evening, YouTube. Kind of bit of a relaxed setup tonight. I don't have the green screen all the way up. It's been a long day. Done some testing, and I wanted to give my thoughts on what I saw after the initial setup of the PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 games look and run fantastic. I've been playing NBA 2K21. It looks really impressive. It plays really well. I'm not good at basketball games, but I knew it was a really impressive looking game, and I just had to give it a shot. I've also downloaded Demon's Souls. Pretty fun hack and slash game. Very challenging, very difficult. Having a lot of fun with that as well. Also, have been playing some of the PlayStation 4 games that I transferred from my PlayStation 4 to the external solid-state hard drive. I did some testing on playing the PlayStation 4 games directly off of the solid-state drive that is external. And I did some testing for transferring them to the local PlayStation 5 itself and seeing if there was a speed difference. And it really kind of depended on the game. That's what I noticed. Final Fantasy VII, for example, I didn't notice a difference between having the game on the external drive versus having the game installed on the local storage. Either way, the game loaded much quicker on the PlayStation 5 than it did the PlayStation 4 Pro. But a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, terrible at pronouncing that game, those both did load quicker whenever they were installed locally on the PlayStation 5's internal storage. Ghost of Tsushima ran beautifully. The frame rate difference is really amazing. And it just also looks like across the board, the PlayStation 5 handles the high dynamic range a little bit better than the PlayStation 4 did. I also put in some 4K Blu-ray movies. I did Ready Player One. I did Game of Thrones, Blade Runner 2048. Blade Runner 2048 is not a Dolby Vision disc. It's just standard high dynamic range. But something of note is the PlayStation 5 does not do Dolby Vision. It will only do HDR or HDR10. So that is, it's concerning. I wasn't necessarily looking for this to be my main UHD Blu-ray player, but it is still an interesting decision. I've seen, like on Spare Change and other tests, that the Xbox Series X also does not do Dolby Vision. So it's not like the PlayStation is missing a feature that is local to the Xbox. Getting Dolby Atmos or DTS:X to work with the UHD Blu-rays was a little bit of a trick. In the system settings for the PlayStation 5, you can go into the audio and set your preferred audio settings from either linear PCM to either bitstream Dolby or bitstream DTS. However, that does not change the audio settings for disc playback. In order to change it for disc playback, once you're playing a disc, you have to actually hit the options button, and then in there you're able to go in and change it from linear PCM to bitstream. And once I was able to do that, the Dolby Atmos worked fine. It sounded great. It sounded just like my other UHD Blu-ray player, so you're not getting any benefit there. Your processors and your amplifiers are doing all the heavy lifting there. All it's doing is passing across the encoded audio. The quick resume of games, really great stuff. I'm enjoying the console. It is super quiet. Anyone that owns a PlayStation 4 Pro knows how loud the PlayStation 4 really sounded. It did not sound healthy. It sounded like it wanted to die.
So I'm very pleased to have a console that doesn't sound like it's yelling at me while I'm trying to play it. So those are my initial thoughts. Thank you for tuning in again. If you enjoyed this video, please click like. I'm sorry for the thrown together, setup here tonight, but it's been a long day. It's after 10 o'clock at night, and I've been going since about 5 this morning to pick up the PlayStation 5, so I'm a little tired. But again, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, click like, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Take care, everyone.